Hi, my name is Bryan, and I'm going to be talking to you today about the effects of nonverbal communication on business communication. What is nonverbal communication, and why is it important to business communication? Well, by mastering nonverbal communication, you can become a more effective communicator and prevent communication misunderstandings. Nonverbal communication could be considered any message, whether it is unintentional or intentional, that is not specifically written, spoken, or sounded out loud. It can be anything from facial expression to the way you're addressed, or even a simple handshake. But we'll go over more examples later. Why does nonverbal communication matter? Well, imagine going to a job interview and having an astounding resume and thinking you answered all your questions appropriately, but you didn't get the job because you lacked good nonverbal skills. Nonverbal skills could send the wrong message to a potential employer, and you might not get the job because you lack these skills. You must also understand that not all nonverbal skills are universal. For example, nodding your head in the United States can suggest agreement, but in other countries it might mean the exact opposite. Facial expressions and eye contact are other forms of very important nonverbal communication. The face is the most expressive part of the body, so you must use it to your advantage. You can use it to express anything from interest and attentiveness, or even signal to others that you wish to participate in communication, or even that it's time for a conversation to end. Eye contact can help persuade someone else. If you are trying to persuade someone and you use a negative eye contact, you might lose your credibility, and this person won't believe you as much as when you had used positive eye contact. However, eye contact also has its disadvantages. Lack of eye contact can be interpreted as lack of interest or even disrespect. Clothing and personal appearance are another form of nonverbal communication that is crucial to communication. Simply from looking at someone's clothing and personal appearance, you can determine someone's class, status, credibility, or persuasiveness. You can tell a lot about someone from the way they're dressed. The person shown here might not get a job because you only have one chance at a first impression. Therefore, you can hit back the hiring decision by not showing up dressed appropriately to a job interview. You might signal to someone that you are going to be a sloppy worker or even a lazy worker, and they won't hire you because of this. An employee's clothing can also affect the overall image of the entire organization. Here at Cathedral, we would have a very distinct uniform. Anytime we go outside of Cathedral, we need to present ourselves in an orderly manner so as to not tarnish the entire image of Cathedral. Body movements and hand gestures are just as important as eye contact or your personal appearance. You must have a good understanding of that all these facial expressions are subjective. For example, you can indicate self-confidence, your status, how friendly you are, or even your current mood just by your posture. Different people will assign different meanings to different body movements and gestures. Poor posture and nervous movements can be interpreted as disrespect, lack of enthusiasm, or even a sign of poor working habit. To a potential employer, if your hand gestures and your body movements are not strong, this might affect the hiring decision. Personal distance and personal space are just as important as all the other nonverbal communications. These are also subjective. There are different spaces you should use with different people. For example, intimate distance is used only with loved ones when you're greeting them with a kiss or some type of hug. But these are only limited to very intimate relationships. Personal distance should be used with someone as a friend or a colleague in situations such as lunch or even when you're standing around talking casually. Social distance is used more with strangers in a professional setting, such as a job interview, a business transaction, or a meeting. And finally, public distance is used when addressing a large group of people. Time is another form of nonverbal communication that can affect communication. Following these time rules can tell the employer that you are reliable or that you won't show up late to work. However, you are more likely to show up late to a meeting with someone of equal rank or less rank than you. However, if you are not on time and you show up late often, people will lose faith in you. They won't depend on you to show up or even depend on you at all. A good understanding of different forms of nonverbal communication allows one to become a more effective communicator on the job or even for interviews and in the workplace. Now that you're all masters of nonverbal communication, go out and apply what you've learned in the real world.